Hi there, this is Rob from Auburn Amps with an unusual topic today. What makes a guy who builds amplifiers think he knows anything about singing? Well, I'll tell you. I came to singing late in life. I had no formal training. I was a total novice, and I was kind of self-conscious about singing at the beginning. But I got to the point where I fronted tribute bands for about 10 years, and I still perform from time to time, and I've come to enjoy it very much. And in trying to learn to become a better singer, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I found that many of them were done by singers who were experts and sometimes had difficulty conveying to novices how they did what they did, because it came naturally to them. They had a knack for singing. And it's like someone who has a knack for mathematics isn't necessarily the best person to teach mathematics. Sometimes the best math teachers are people who really had to struggle to understand the concepts. And it's the same with singing. So what I've done is I've distilled the three things that I found that really, really helped me develop my singing. And they're very simple. They're so simple that it's hard to imagine that they work, but they do. I'm not selling this. I'm not selling anything. I just want to help people who are coming to singing the way I did. And if you're a musician, being able to sing is just a good thing to have in your bag of tricks, and it's an enjoyable thing to do anyway. If you get rid of the baggage and the judgment associated with producing sounds with your body and not having anything else that you can blame for anything bad that comes out. So the three tips, I like to abbreviate BNR, breathing, notes, relaxation. The first one, breathing, is a very simple breathing exercise. This did not come to me as a singing exercise. This was just a general health exercise. But I noticed that when I did it, my singing really improved. My power, my control, and even my intonation really improved when I did this very, very simple breathing exercise. And it just goes like this. You take in as much air as you can, and then you force it all out, all of it, until you can not force any more air out. It doesn't matter how long it takes to inhale or exhale. You don't hold the air, you don't count or anything like that. But if you take too long to exhale, you'll get lightheaded. If you get lightheaded, just stop. It's not a formal breathing exercise at all. But what it does is it expands your lungs much more than they normally do. We tend to breathe in a shallow way on a day-to-day basis. We don't think about it. But our lungs have all kinds of oxygen receptors that don't get used because we never really fill up with air, and we're not using the full extent of the range of the muscles that allow you to breathe in, which is the diaphragm, and to breathe out. The ones that help you sing are the intercostal muscles, the muscles between your ribs. So doing this exercise, you can do it through your nose. I like to do it through pursed lips, so I can feel the air coming all the way in. You can feel the moment when you can't take any more in, and when you're breathing all out again, you can feel that you can no longer push any more air out. You can feel that on your lips and your teeth. I do this everywhere, when I'm unloading the dishwasher, at my computer, out walking the dog, anytime you can do this breathing exercise. And one day it will change singing. I guarantee if you do this for a day, at the end of the day when you go to sing, you will discover that you have more power and control. And you just it becomes a more easy process to sing when you do this breathing exercise. That's it. That's tip number one. Tip number two, notes. All I'm suggesting, and this works too, is to download a piano app onto your phone. This is not a paid kickback thing. A free app, doesn't matter which one. There are lots of them out there. I use one called Piano for You for Android. But the main thing is it's got an image of a piano keyboard on your computer screen, on your phone screen, and it's got the names of the notes on the keys, and it sounds just like a piano when you plunk out the melody. Now, the purpose of doing this is it allows you to visualize the intervals and the shape of the melody, and you're also seeing the names of the notes as you're hearing the pitches and singing along with it. And this provides a memory aid, an unconscious memory aid. It doesn't matter if you're an expert keyboardist and you already know the names of the notes. Seeing the notes printed on the keys, even unconsciously, really helps you nail the melodies and the intervals. You will be able to sing the melody with more confidence if you do this. Putting it on your phone makes the process casual and portable. And the casual aspect takes us to tip number 3, relax. Relaxation occurs on 2 levels. First is the muscles in your body, in your upper body, especially in here. There are a lot of muscles that try to involve themselves when you're singing, especially if you're wanting it to be as good as it can be, or if you're thinking about hitting a high note or singing as loud as you can. You will just naturally tense up muscles that have nothing to do with the production of sound and actually interfere with it. So what you want to do is use only the muscles that are involved in singing. And the way to do that, the simplest way I found to do that, is just to sing all the time. Sing in very casual circumstances, quietly to yourself, or in the car, or just sing to your kids, or your nieces and nephews, or grandkids, or whatever. They're a great audience. They don't judge you, and you shouldn't judge you either. That's the other level of the relaxation, is to just deformalize singing itself. When you're making music with your body, you've got you might have some baggage associated with doing that, especially if you came from a culture, or a family culture, that did not encourage singing. You need to shed that baggage just by singing as often as you can, and enjoy it. Pick things you like to sing, and sing them as often as you can. I want to share an additional tip. This is getting back to the notes thing. And it's also tied in with the relaxation, because sometimes people think, oh, I need to hit a high note, and I need to hit this really high note. And so you tense up when you're doing that, because you're visualizing something that's a reach, something that's hard to get to. A visualization I use to get rid of that sense that a high note is a more difficult thing is just to imagine the notes within your range. And I don't mean your whole range. If you can sing 4 octaves, that's great. But if you're just singing things that are going to sit comfortably in your range, they're going to cover about 2 octaves maximum, generally. And that's 24 notes. And that's a very small number of notes. You can actually memorize what each of those sounds like. When people get together and sing Happy Birthday, they generally sing the same key. These are not trained musicians. These are people who don't know an F from a hole in the ground. But people have a sense of what key Happy Birthday is in. So we all have some sort of pitch memory, even though it's informal. You hear about people having perfect pitch, and it's like some gift from the heavens. It's not like that. It's a skill you can pick up, and you don't have to be super precise about it. You don't have to be able to say, well, that's an F sharp 3, but it's just a little flat. You don't have to be that precise. But when you can start to identify the notes by the sound, your life as a musician, it just becomes so much easier. The phone app will help, but this visualization I wanted to get to is, I imagine that the 24 notes that I'm going to sing in any piece, anything I'm going to sing, are each of them is a bucket forming an arc. They're the lowest note, highest note, and these buckets are about 3 feet away from me, a meter away from me. They're not black buckets and white buckets. They just have the names on them, and it's just a chromatic 2-octave scale. And when I sing, I imagine I'm taking a ball and I'm throwing a ball into that bucket. There's A, there's C, there's D, and that your high notes are no longer this challenging thing that's way up there. It's just the bucket that's over there. And the low notes are just the bucket that's over there. And the ones that are right in the middle of your range are perhaps the easiest ones to get to, but they're all easy to get to. And they're all right there. This is your universe. You can memorize the taste of 24 fruits. You can memorize 24 notes. Your brain is capable of it, your ear is capable of it, and it will make the whole process of making music with your body so much more enjoyable. I hope I haven't talked too much. I usually do. I apologize for that, but I really hope these 3 tips, breathing, notes and relaxation will help you in your singing endeavors. Anyway, this is Rob from Auburn Amps wishing you a day full of music. And should that music need a place to come from, like a handmade vacuum tube amplifier, please consider an Auburn amplifier. We make amps for listening at home through speakers and headphones, and for professional musicians primarily, any electrified instrument for recording or for performance. This is what we do. This is all we do. Handmade vacuum tube amplifiers. We use modern technology where necessary, but we go for a classic tone with a minimum of inconvenience. We make amps that are more portable, more reliable, and more noise-free than traditional tube amplifiers. That is the Auburn difference. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day full of music. Take care. Bye-bye.